Peace and blessings, beautiful people. It's Naya here. Okay, so you can kind of see a little bit of my house here in the background, and I'm not the best blogger in the world, but here we are. Okay, so let me see if I can set you down here. Oh, this is not good. Okay, so this year I'm planning on doing a depth year. I was talking with Kim from Abundant Life Tarot, and she is also undergoing this for the year. So this is kind of sort of my response to her about it, at least about mine. So this is just bloggy style a little bit, so just bear with me. So depth year. What I want to do in my 2020 depth year, I always have a whole bunch of ideas. I'm always going, and I never sit still long enough to accomplish any one thing. Everything has been moving forward, but very slowly because I'm tinkering and my hands in there's a lot of pots on the stove, if you will. So the collection that I have now, I know I just uploaded a video of my card closet, but even while I was organizing those, and I go, I've never really used this deck and I've always wanted to, or I never really connected with that deck, and maybe I should trade it or gift it or something. So, really kind of working with the collection that I have right now is kind of my goal, I suppose. And you guys know that I've been trying to figure out my core collection for a while, and I think I've got it down to about altogether like 30 decks. But I have chosen, and I've been thinking about this for the past month. I've been trying to figure it out for the past month, and I think that in 2020 I have about 12 tarot decks that I will be really working with and really just rotating through. That doesn't mean that I might not go in my rest of my collection and maybe, go, I want to work with this one. But the goal is to really hunker down with these decks and kind of just, and more, I'm not just reading for myself, I'm reading for other people. So which are the decks that I tend to go to because they just speak to me that way, or they're just versatile enough, or they're recognizable enough that people can get what is going on. Now, that's just the tarot thing. You guys also know I have an astrology background, which I haven't really presented so much on my channel since I've started my channel. And the reason for that is because I've been trying to this is like asking somebody, are you a Thoth person? Are you a RWS person? Or are you a TDM based person? And for me, I'm always like, well, I like all three and I understand all three, and I use techniques from all three across the board. It just adds to the experience that I have and the research that I've done and all that kind of stuff. So when it comes to astrology, there's also a wide variety of schools of thought, of angles you can come from, of techniques you can use that sometimes, I feel like, yeah, I can go through the basics. That's not a problem. Yeah, I can do that. I'll probably be bored out of my mind because it's, basics are everywhere. But what angle am I coming from? What is my foundation that I want to use and become expert at, or work at becoming expert at? You see what I'm saying? So two things. I've definitely become enamored with sidereal astrology. I know It's not necessarily Vedic, so I found Western Sidereal Astrology, which has its own particular like lane of how you do things. But I'm also interested in traditional astrology, more so like Hellenistic astrology. So you have, Chris Brennan and Demetra George. They wrote books and how to apply techniques and things like that. So, the thing about traditional astrology or that is that you mostly just use your traditional planets, meaning up to Saturn, and not necessarily your more modern planets, which is also including Pluto and stuff like that. Now, I have to figure out for myself, what is it that I look at when I look at a chart, when I'm doing transits every day, or when I'm looking at the week ahead and things of that sort. So I'm having a difficult time trying to determine what I want to do in terms of the channel. I know what I do in the background. I know what I'm studying. I'm studying sidereal astrology. I use whole sign houses for the most part, but with Western sidereal, I think Kenneth, is it Bowser or Bauer? Oh God, forgive me. He uses, anyway, okay, look, see, I'm straying. Let me just, I'm gonna back it up a little bit. Anyways, so there's a lot of techniques. So Western sidereal, traditional / Hellenistic astrology I'm interested in, but I'm also thinking about incorporating asteroids. The problem I have with the asteroids is that if I use these ones, why am I not using the other ones? There are thousands and thousands of asteroids that you can pull up when you pull up a chart. So what makes these significant versus the other ones? Well, the first 10 of them that came out, this was like, the reason why I want to use the asteroids is because you don't see too many people applying them in transits, applying them in dailies, and the whole thing about that there was like a feminist kind of connotation with the asteroids to balance out the more masculine handed of the traditional planets, where you only have basically the moon as the mom and Venus as the wife or the lover. You know what I'm saying? Where you have oh goodness, like Pallas, which is like a warrior spirit, things like that. So just like, how would that work on a day-to-day? So I'm trying to still figure out how and what I want to present for the astrology side. So I need to narrow that down. So this is part of the depth here for me as far as my content is concerned. Where do I want to place my focus when it comes to the astrology stuff? Now, going back to, of course, I have to do the basics, but I have been I've been working on a rough draft for a manuscript for a book that I want to write in regards to tarot and astrology. So there are a lot, you see what I'm saying? I have my hands on a lot of pots and I need to simplify. This is the point of the depth here for me in 2020. I need to simplify where I'm spending my energy, how I'm utilizing my time to be most effective, most productive towards the goals that I have in my mind, the long-term goals that I have set in my mind. So yeah, as far as okay, going back to tarot, as far as decks go, really, like I said, I've kind of told myself, hey, here are try to break it down, right? These are the decks that I would reach for any day, any time of year, and I would get a good reading off of these. And I'm comfortable with the imagery and just go-tos, right? This is the part when I say a core collection, what are my go-tos? The only deck that I have on order that I pre-ordered is the Spacious Tarot. So I'm curious how that one will read when it does come, but I really have no plans of purchasing any new decks in 2020. I don't think my focus is in consumerism. Even now, having purchased a home, I'm kind of like, I don't want it to be cluttered. I don't want to buy things unnecessarily. Like, I found myself, and I'm not going to say I'm not an extreme minimalist, but I found myself wanting to simplify in that respect. Is it extra? Have I used it in a year? No? Okay, garbage, gift it, trade it, sell it, whatever. So I just want to kind of, I feel like I was forced a little bit into a depth here this year, somewhat, some way, somehow. I had to deal with the realities of life in that way. And now with my online, I want to do the same things. Groups I don't participate in, I'm going to remove myself from. And it's not because I don't want to participate. I don't have the time. I'm stretched way too thin. Between my daytime job, the plans that I have for the Ninth Rise Chronicles, it's just it's a lot. I have a lot on my plate, and I do like to stay busy, but I don't want to be overworked, and I don't want to be overwhelmed, and I just want to simplify so that I'm more effective in whatever funnel or tunnel that I decide to, whatever avenue I decide to go down. So yeah. I'm not saying I'm going to be perfect. I'm human. I'll probably be prone to go, ooh, that deck is pretty. But I think I want to keep maybe this one in, one out kind of idea in my head, where if I do see something that I really, really like, feel called to get, that I say, okay, what do I have in my collection that I do not use or I feel like I might not get on with, and then trade it or sell it and then get the new deck. Does that make sense? So yeah, so that's where I'm at, and that's my idea for the 2020 year. I feel like I'm missing something, but that's just how it is. Okay. I haven't had my coffee yet either. So I'm rambling and I haven't had coffee yet. That tells you how much my brain it just goes. I need coffee. Help. So anyways, folks, yeah. As far as communication channels go, I think if need be, emails are always important. I always see emails. I am on, FB Messenger, but you have to understand that as things continue to grow, you tend to get pulled in more and more directions, idea wise, people wanting your assistance wise, and it makes it difficult to get to everybody. And I don't want to feel like I'm leaving anybody hanging either. So it's important for me to clarify that. I'm still going to be, having the channel, but I'm definitely going to be incorporating my website a little bit more towards the angle of me creating the videos for my channel. The channel is going to be an extension of the website, and that was always supposed to be the case. So if anybody, actually I got protein powder. I have caramel macchiato protein powder, and all right, trying to do everything with one hand and not cool. Okay. But yeah, it's just I don't know, it's just one of those things. What the hell was I talking about? Bro. Totally lost my train of thought. Oh, God. So anyways, oh yeah, my website. So yeah, I'm trying to just, the website is headquarters, it's home base, it's what it is. I think I've more figured out in my head. I got it. I just need to apply it now. And that's what the depth year is for me. It's about applying these ideas and these thoughts that I've had in a more systematic way. Before I did it very, I tried to find a method to the madness, but it was mostly always madness. It was mostly always like, this is what I feel like talking about right now. This is what's happening. So somebody asks me a question, so I'll make a video real fast, that kind of thing. And now I need to come at it more systematically, more just to give myself space and time to be effective in what I'm delivering, and to also give myself boundaries as far as when am I thinking about this and doing the work, and when am I giving myself a break. It's important to set boundaries, and I think that is part of my depth year, is setting those boundaries. And it's funny because here we have Pluto and Saturn in conjunction with each other, and Pluto is about power and Saturn is about work and longevity. Also Pluto, he's the underworld. There's usually very super intense things that occur, and I feel like if anybody who knows me knows that I am a very intense person. I'm a very passionate person, but I think it's time to with this conjunction, this is not just a personal thing for me. This is this is trans person. This is like everyone is feeling this shift. Like crazy things are happening right now, but we have to do the work. It's gonna be a power play, and I don't mean that in this. Now, I want people to determine the difference between power and force. Those are two very, very different subjects. So a lot of people associate power with somebody forcing somebody to do something. Do you understand what I'm saying? And the thing is that power is not about being forceful. Power is about your innate power to make things happen. It is about the power that you have in your, in your stature in life, like where you are in life, where you want to go. And Saturn is about doing that work, and it might feel a little bit constricted, and it might feel a little bit like military, if you will. In that sense, it might feel overbearing, but if you can find a way of asserting your power through those situations and through that course of action, you'll be better for it on the other side. You know what I mean? Like, because I feel resourceful wise, there's more than enough to go around. There really is. There's enough for everybody. So when it comes to power, it really shouldn't be the bumping of heads, but there are folks in the world that feel that. My cats are crazy, that feel that way. There's naturally sometimes going to be a butting of heads, but it's not so much about that. It's about growing. It's about growth and evolution and transforming what you now currently hold in your power to a higher, like bringing it to a higher level. It's just upgrading yourself. Like it sounds so, simplified as, hey, upgrade yourself. But I'm telling you, the underlying reason is that there's going to be decisions that have to be made. There's going to have to be, like when it comes to you, it's like, it's not going to be like quietly coming to you. It's not, the situation's not going to be quiet. It's going to be very like in your face, like, boom, how you going to deal with this? Boom, how you going to deal with that? And it's already started. I've seen it across the board every day for about 3 weeks now, that there's something like out of somebody's control that has happened, that now what are they going to do? Now how are they going to handle it? And we just have to, if we get knocked down, we just got to get back up and keep going. we learn from the experience, and it makes us wiser. And and having a way of just being authentic to yourself throughout all the crazy is going to serve us all very well. I mean, that's just how I feel about it, So anyways, a little bit of a ramble at the same time, cosmic contemplation, anybody. And okay, so that's my depth year. And then that okay, so I guess going back to that too, the whole like Pluto myth, or the underworld myth, going deep. Okay, that was oh, you thought I was gonna go somewhere with it, but I'm not. So all right, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. I've been talking and yammering for 20 minutes. I haven't had coffee. I'm starting to get a headache. So, because I'm over here channeling, so I'm going to say thank you, Spirit. Thank you, ancestors. I love you. But, okay, we got to break the link right now because I can't anymore. Whoo! God. Lord help me. Okay, my loves, I will talk to you on the next video. Much love, many blessings. Peace.